Sports with Josh.
That's foul for the Nuggets, puts them over the limit. Here is Bryant. Yes!
That's a clip right there from Game 7. My Lakers doing it big last night. What's up, everybody? It's the Sports with Josh. Josh Evans, your host once again. Today, the segment strictly NBA playoffs because they are crazy right now. They're in full swing, and that's all anybody, at least in the sports world, wants to talk about. Like the clip said, Kobe hit a big three to seal the game last night in LA at Staples Center. First round is now finished. Second round is now underway. Lakers beat Nuggets in Game 7 last night. Gasol, 23 points, 17 rebounds. Bynum, 16 points, 18 rebounds. Kobe was quiet but productive, 17 points and 8 assists. And Steve Blake, huge off the bench, 19 points, 5 for 6 from three-point range. Lakers at OKC Monday at 6:30 Pacific time. Going to be an interesting series. Tough series for the Lakers. Tough series for the Thunder as well. Some drama in this series as Metta World Peace just came back from his 7-game suspension for elbowing James Harden in their double overtime win over the Thunder a few weeks back. James Harden just named the 6th man of the year, as we all know. Now, Metta World Peace just came out and said, I'm not going to shake Harden's hand and apologize before the game because Harden is a substitute. And apparently, Metta World Peace only shakes the hands of the starters. That's what we're led to believe. Harden, like I said, is the best substitute, getting named the 6th man of the year. So some interesting drama is going to be coming into place there. You know that Harden and the Thunder are going to want revenge. Harden hasn't made a statement, hasn't said much about it. Durant was on Twitter thanking the Nuggets for tiring out the Lakers. Over to the Eastern Conference for a minute. Heat take Game 1 today. Bosh is hurt in the game, though. LeBron and Wade combined for 61 points between the both of them as the Heat went on to beat the Pacers 95-86 in Game 1 earlier today. But Chris Bosh, on a dunk in the second quarter, suffered an abdominal strain, and he left the game right before halftime to not return. He was dominating, though, had 13 points before going out, so it's up in the air right now whether Bosh will be back. If Bosh has to miss a game, it's a big ouch for the Heat, as he is, of course, one of their big three and was playing very well in the game tonight before leaving. Boston and the Sixers. Boston's up 1-0 after winning their first game yesterday evening. Rondo had a triple-double. Boston, I think, is just going to be too much for Philly. Philly really struggled to beat a Bulls team without Derrick Rose, and it was missing Noah. The Sixers just really struggled to get any offense going against the Bulls, and Boston, obviously a great defensive team, escaped somewhat with the victory yesterday, only winning by 1. But when it gets down to it, I think the Celtics will just be too strong and too much for the Sixers to overcome. Spurs and the Clippers. Clippers beat the Grizzlies in Game 7 this morning by 10 points. Very convincing win in Memphis. Grizzlies just couldn't get anything going. Missed all 14 of their three-point shots. Live by the 3, die by the 3, I guess is what they say. The Grizzlies definitely died by the 3 today. Spurs are a supremely talented team. Like Boston and the Sixers, I think the Spurs are just going to be too much for the Clips. Tough team to beat. The Clips got a tough team in the Spurs. Chris Paul must be huge. The Spurs obviously have a lot of experience between Tony Parker and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili in playoffs and in important games. Chris Paul is really the only Clippers player who's been in important games in the playoffs. Blake Griffin, obviously very young. Guard-heavy Clipper team. Live by the 3, die by the 3. The Clippers are going to need their three-point game in this series to beat the Spurs if they have any chance of beating the Spurs. It's going to be a great second round of the NBA playoffs. Semifinals in the West, semifinals in the East. Lakers and Thunder are going to be a great series. I think the Heat and Pacers have a potential to be a great series. Boston and Sixers, Spurs and the Clippers, not so much, but it's going to be very interesting to see who does win these 7-game series and meet in the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals. In other news, Manchester City scored twice in stoppage time today to win 3-2 and claim the English Premier League title. Congratulations to Manchester City and its fans. Final 4 teams set in Stanley Cup playoffs. Rangers to play the New Jersey Devils in a New York versus New Jersey series that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. The Phoenix Coyotes take on the Los Angeles Kings, the 8th seed surprise team for the Final 4 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Going to be interesting to see who hoists the giant Stanley Cup trophy at the end of the year. Thanks for listening, everybody. Sports with Josh.
Sports with Josh.